Hey everybody, it's KD back for another episode of Girl on Fire. With me today, I have SW Andersen. She is another Lesfic author.
Hi, how are
She's
you?
waving everybody. So she's not a hot sauce person, but she was willing to come on and follow the format. So kudos to you. I really appreciate it because I've had some people on and be like, I had to do a hot sauce. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's why it's called Girl on Fire. Yeah, yeah. Okay. But thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, okay. So tell us about the hot sauce you have that you're gonna taste.
Micanopy Gold,
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Before the Heat. It's from a
Ooh.
local town here in Florida.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I'm gonna try that. And
Okay. That actually sounds really good. It sounds like it's gonna be flavorful. Okay,
yeah,
I have everybody, I have Melinda's Red Savina.
mhm.
It has four little heat things on it. So or maybe four and a half. I'm not sure. We'll see. But red Savina peppers are maybe a step above habaneros in the heat level.
Okay.
So, and I like Melinda's sauce. So they're always pretty good. So I look forward to this one. So, are you gonna do chip or you gonna do spoon?
I'll just do spoon, I guess.
Oh, are you sure?
I don't know. Sure, if you're gonna go, just go, right?
You can chuck it if you want.
It smells a little bit like A1.
Does it?
Yeah, and it's not red. It's kind of a
It looks like a mustard based hot sauce.
yeah. It looks like yeah. I need better glasses to read that tiny print that's on there.
I know, right?
Yeah, but it might be. Yeah, it does. It does have mustard on there. Let's see here.
Oh, I love mustard based hot sauces.
I don't think I've ever really. Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
Okay, I'm putting some on my spoon. Woo, it's coming out barely. It's got a little shaker thing, everybody, so bear with me. Jesus Christ. Getting it all over my computer. Okay, I only got a little bit, but I don't want to end up in the whole bottle on the spoon there. So
Yeah.
here we go. That's okay. There's nothing different about it. Yeah, it's all right. What do you think about what do you think about yours?
I think you would probably like it. It's definitely sweet when you put it like in the beginning. It's sweet like a really tangy barbecue sauce or something.
Then heat on the back end?
Yeah, like the back of my tongue and the back of my
Mm-hmm.
throat after I saw it.
Uh-huh.
It's there.
Mine was okay. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was all right. It had the heat. It had a like a stinging heat, but it went away pretty quickly. I want to see
There
what's
were
in
so many
this.
choices. I didn't even know where to start other than to not get anything and it said deadly heat or scorpion on it.
Mine has carrots, vinegar, lime juice, and garlic in it. Eh, it
Well,
was okay. I
pepper.
would. How would you rate the sauce that you just tasted?
Well, seeing as I don't do a lot of them, it was. I mean, it was. Is this a scale of 10 or a 5?
Yes, scale of 10 on a taste.
Um, I mean, I think it would be really good on some meat or something. Probably put a 7 or something on it.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't
What
know.
about the heat?
Um, for me, the heat is about as much as I care to deal with. So I guess I would rank that on, a nice 8 or 9 or something for like, you know,
The
yeah,
wussy
sounds
of the
like
wussy scale, 8 or 9 on the wussy scale. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's more than like I think I've had to Tabasco and all that's not really stuff. I've had a few things that are not really hot. You say they're hot and they're not hot at all. This has a nice kick. Like even now, it's like it still
Ah, really?
sort of lingers. It stays there. So I think it'd be really good on like some meats or different something marinated with something. Or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But I could definitely
Okay.
see it on some meat or something.
Well, I would give mine maybe a 6 for taste
Hmm.
and maybe a 7, 7.5 for heat. It wasn't that hot, and the taste wasn't what I wanted it to be. Now, this brand, they use the same ingredients in all their sauces,
Hmm.
meaning they use the carrots, the garlic, the lime juice, or whatever.
Hmm.
And with some peppers, it's really good, but it doesn't taste all that great with this one.
Huh.
Just like,
Too
I don't
bad.
know. It was just.
Are you one of those people though that eat like the high grade, like high, what is it, the Scoville scale?
Yes,
Yeah, you're
yes,
that. Like mace,
yes.
you're like eating mace.
Yes, I have I'm running again, everybody. I am running out of hot sauces. So if you want to send me some,
I'm gonna get
please
together and
do.
send it to you.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I would like, I love mustard based hot sauces.
Yeah.
But I have some Reaper sauces.
Mm.
Um I have some with scorpion peppers in it.
Mm.
I got I got a handful of stuff left. I got one, two, three. Ooh, one, two, three, 4, 5. Oh, I only got 6 bottles of hot sauce left. Oh my God.
I feel like
Oh,
I should follow that up with some honey. Honey with the bite.
yeah, too bad you can't see. My wife put some shelves up here
Uh-huh.
above my little mini fridge where I can store my hot sauces. They were full
Oh.
over the they I mean I had maybe, let's see, I have 6 now. I had maybe 25 sauces or something like that. But I try to do a show like every week.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I do more than one a week. In fact, I'm a little behind. I have 2 I need to put up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in addition to yours, it'll be 3. So I have to, I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on getting out those all up so I can get caught up. But yeah, again, everybody, I'm running out of hot sauces. Please send. I don't mind what you send, just send. Okay. All right. So you have a work in progress that you're working on.
I do.
You want to tell us about it?
Sure. It's nearly done. The first draft, anyway.
Uh-huh.
My Western series, the Sarah Sawyer um, series, the Gunslinger, and
Oh,
third book. Um, and so, yeah, it's taken me a good bit of time to piece this one together, to give them a new challenges, I guess, now that they're together and have fought off families and all that good stuff. So,
uh-huh.
you know, I've never done a series. It's my only series because I find them very complicated. I'm envious of some of those people that write like 9 books.
Oh,
Leiden and all them just have London and I'm like, how can you think of that many books?
I know. I mean, it seems like you were run out of stuff to do. And I've written a series before, but it wasn't based on characters. It was based on subject matter. But
Okay.
I always, I admire people. I've always wanted to like have a write something where the couple is together and but maybe start out that way instead of having them lead into each other and then writing something for because I think it's hard once they get together to throw things at them that'll be, you know,
Yeah.
not make you have you like, okay, yeah, really, really, I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well, the good
I can
thing is,
see how you would have a hard time.
yeah, the fun thing has been showing the growth of the main character, Sarah Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from the first book, for anyone that hasn't read it, her parents get killed by one of the bad guys of the Old West. And he takes her and kind of enslaves her as a teen girl for a little while, and she gets away. And she does the hell bent on revenge thing at some point.
Well, of course, it's a Western. There has to be a
Yeah,
revenge in it.
right. And then there's the love interest and makes her rethink things and all this. So the first one, is revenge on that. The second one, there's some loose ends to tie up. So the plot on those weren't as hard to come up with. It was harder to make her grow, I think. But the third one now, it's like well, what do they do now? You know, like
Mm.
what kind of challenge can I put on that's new and different, and you're not just repeating the same kind of thing. Showing
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, definitely.
find a path now, you know, all that kind of stuff. So um, I just really want to get it done. Uh, I really love. She's my favorite character. She's my favorite. Like,
Really?
yes, it's my favorite thing to write. And if I can think of enough things, I will write her forever.
Really? What,
Yeah,
why is she your favorite?
you know, ah, I think there's a good bit of me in there. There's the
Ah,
drive, the um, no matter what life throws at you, you're just gonna go do the thing that you're set to do, but you're always trying to do the right thing, even if it doesn't turn out that way. And she's overcome
mm-hmm.
hurdles, and I would love to be as badass as she is, but you know, there's different subtle humor and things that, and some of my life stories. And I grew up with horses, so her horse is based off of two of the horses I've had, and some little
Okay.
inside jokes and stuff or things that I've taken from my life. So, I think
Okay.
I like it.
I think when you put a little bit of yourself in a character,
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes it makes them harder to write. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I
No?
think most of my books there's something that from me or my life that I've put into one of the characters at least. You know, um, that I think is kind of fun when I read it back later, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that thing. Um, I don't know. I, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. So, how many books have you written?
I think six.
Oh, wow.
This will be book seven, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on book 7 too. So yeah, I wish I was getting done with the first draft. I'm like maybe 22,000 words in or something like that. I'm hoping to take Nano to finish it actually. So I'm hoping anyway. But I actually think it's going to be longer than 70,000 words. I think it's probably going to be around 85.
Ah,
So at least I'll be almost finished, by the time Nano is up. I just, since November is creeping up, I think I probably need to um, scribble down some notes or something like that. I don't outline. Do you outline?
no, I find I tried. I'm a pantser. I tried to outline, and I found myself spending all my time trying to figure out what to outline and not actually getting anywhere.
Yes, it's like you've written a book already, and then
Yes.
it's just like okay, what do I do now? I mean, it's like redoing it pretty much. I've tried the outlining thing. I'm a pantser too, so it's just like I just go with the flow. It's just like whatever seems like it
Mhm.
would be great to happen for those characters. That's what happens.
I mostly write when I'm driving. Well, I don't write while I'm
I
driving.
know what you mean. I know
I'm
what
just
you mean.
about it. A lot of times song lyrics or something hit me.
Hmm.
That'd be a cool story, and then like some random day later, I'll be like, oh, hey, what if this person did this and this from that story, or uh, funny story, the book this time, which is my paranormal romance that has some flashbacks, past life stuff. I was
Uh-huh.
so stuck on that book, and I was getting an MRI, and I was stuck in the tube, and I was trying not to do a panic attack, and I literally worked out my problem with
Oh
that
my
book
gosh.
while I was in the MRI.
Really?
Yes. Uh,
That's crazy. I
yeah.
I get I like it'll happen to me when I'm driving. Like
Mhm.
maybe first thing in the morning when I'm kind of just laying in bed in that fog.
Yeah.
It can be anytime during the day.
Mhm.
I could be doing anything. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes I feel like my characters talk to me because
Mhm.
I get pieces of dialogue and I'll start laughing and my wife goes, she'll say, what are you laughing at? I was like, I just something. Are you thinking about fake people again? So she calls them fake people. So I'm just like, I was like, yeah, yeah. I just thought I got an idea, but yeah, I think that's a good thing, and I think that helps. That seems to go with pantsers, I think. that whole thing that we're describing right now. I mean, because we do write on the fly. I mean, we take it as it comes, as opposed to somebody who sits down and meticulously outlines the entire book
Mm-hmm.
and knows each thing that's gonna happen. I mean, I'm just like, when I start a book, I have no idea what the middle's gonna be. I have no idea what the end's gonna be. By the time I get to the middle, I know what the end is.
Do you like
And by
that
the time,
too? Like when you get to the end and then you're like, oh, I really need this, you go backwards and like fix things or add things. And if
yes,
I didn't know what it was going to be when I got there, and then when I reread it, I'm like, oh, I really need to add some of this so that makes it.
yes, exactly, exactly. And it's just, it is what it is.
Mhm.
So how would you describe your writing style?
I'm terrible at those questions. Um, I don't know. Um, I started with first person, and I've not
Really?
yes, and the Sarah Sawyer books are in first person, and
Uh-huh.
I think Love by Design is in first person, and then I tried the third person thing, um, and so now trying to go back to first person for this one has been a little bit of a challenge, but in some ways I really like the first person headspace. You know,
Really?
I know it limits you, but when you're doing it when it's mainly centered on one or two characters, it's not that big a deal, I guess, because you're kind of living her life, right? Like, which
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't work for every book, but I don't remember who the series was. First two or three books were first person, and then it went to third person, and I hated it. I was like, I'm not doing that on my book. They're all going to be first person. If I can't figure out, I'm not writing a third book because I don't want to change that style.
Yeah, and then have the reader just go like,
Yeah, I was like, what? Okay, I didn't read that other book. But I'm not. I haven't been writing very long. I started
mhm.
in 2015, I think, 2014, 2013, one of those years, 2013. I started writing. And I've always been very much, even when I speak to the point usually. I don't have a lot of adverbs. I'm a bullet point person. So when I started writing, it was like, oh my God, I wrote 2 chapters. It was like, woo. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then you get to 9 chapters, and then I'm like, people are like, well, you need more words. I'm like, so I got to throw adverbs in there. I think one of the things I've been really working on is getting that more descriptive,
Ah,
because like me as a person, even I'll walk in a room, I'll do these things that people are like, hey, did you see the curtains or the wallpaper? I'm like, no, I don't know. I needed that. I went and I got that, and I left. So I think sometimes my writing is somewhat minimalist but full of feeling. Like I'm better with the emotional part, the feeling.
ah,
Um, but I've really worked hard to do the surroundings now to get the feel of it. Um,
okay.
Feel that in more. So I think when you look through my books, some of my people, my readers that have read all my books, you can definitely see the change of everything, like my growth as a writer. So my style is still changing. I'm still working on it.
I think that's an ever-changing thing, actually. I agree. If I were to, and I've done this, go back and look at the first book that was published, and look at my work in progress that I'm, doing right now. The styles is vastly different. I mean, just the way I use words. Some of it, part of it is the same because I do write in third person, but I write in I write in two characters' point of view. So it's just like, I like starting a book where each character gets their own chapter. And when they finally have that meeting or something, that's when I start meshing the chapters together. And I just, I'll do maybe half one character or 2/3 one character and, 1/3 the other character. It depends on, what it's about. But I've never written I think I wrote some fanfic in the first person before. But other than that, I've never written in first person. I find it not hard, but I find that my style of writing, when I do it, it gets too flowery.
Huh.
you know, and I'm just like, oh God, nobody talks like that. Come on, I mean, please, like, so it's just like, okay, I need to stay away from that because that doesn't even sound like me.
Yeah,
So,
I got you. No, I think I started with fan fiction too, and I think I started with first person because I had so much trouble getting the right uh tense in the other
but
stuff.
fandom,
And when I was in first person, it was just easier to make it like it was just easy because I was in that headspace and I wasn't jumping tenses and whatnot.
what fandom were you in?
Lost Girl.
Of course.
I still do a little super. I'm doing a little bit of Supercorp now. Just
Oh, really?
not long, but yeah, Docubus.
Are you on AO3?
Mm-hmm. It's under Somewhat Addicted.
Under who?
Somewhat Addicted is my fan fiction name.
I'm trying to think if I've ever read anything. I don't know. I used to read so much. I don't have a lot of time these days anymore, but I've read so much over the years. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, and I haven't written fanfic since I want to say 2014,
Yeah.
maybe 2013.
It's still fun. Like it's just fun to stretch your muscles, try something new. You get that feedback, you know.
It is. It's like that immediate, you know, that ooh, you know, the feedback you get that's almost immediate, and you know, it kind of builds you up a little bit. And I'm just like, I do miss that part,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, there's nothing. I'm like, I wouldn't even know what fandom to. There's nothing I'm really watching right now that moves me enough to where I'm like,
Yeah,
eh.
I agree. I did write a docubus. I don't know, earlier in the year, maybe at New Year's, and someone requested one that I partially started writing. When I finish this draft, I'll try to knock that one out for them for a one shot. I mean, I'm always inspired by Bone One. Super
Uh,
Cool is fun more because it's not canon, and it totally should be canon. You know, like all of us that root for that. So it's just
yes.
to write. But again, I'm just doing a one shot, like whatever inspired me, and not getting involved in whole, 23
Yeah.
later.
Yeah,
This
yeah. I
out.
watched Supergirl too, you know, well, I did this past season anyway. And well, you know, it's the last season this just coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of not sad about that, but because
No,
the show it's not, it's a shell of what it was.
yeah, I
It,
resisted for a long time. I didn't actually watch it forever. I don't I love superheroes and I love supporting female characters. I don't
mhm.
really love a lot of the female superheroes. I don't love that they're always in a skirt. Like I don't love all the stereotype stuff. I was never a Supergirl fan. But then my friends were like, "Oh, Alex Danvers, blah blah blah." You know, they're all into the
Alex
Sanders
and Maggie.
at the time. And so finally, I was like, it was like season 3 or 4 at that point, and I got on Netflix and I watched it. And I was like, that was pretty good. And Lena Luthor came in, and I'm like, oh my god, I love, you know, I mean,
Yeah, she was, yeah.
they're all hot.
She kind of, yeah, she made a big splash there. Yeah, it's like,
The cast
okay.
is wonderful. So, I got hooked on that.
Hmm.
I love Katie McGrath too. So, no offense to my, you know, Docubus. I don't love it. I'm not on that level with it, but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
Now you have me tempted to. I used to write in. I've written in Buffy. I've written in Brazilian Isles, and I started out in Xena.
Okay, I have no
So
idea what fan fiction was. Like, I never heard of fan fiction until Lost Girl. Honestly. Um,
yeah, it's been around for a long, long, long time.
Apparently, that's not.
Yeah, and probably every show you could think of has fanfic,
Yes,
some form of fashion.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
okay, cool,
What's your
cool.
fan fiction name?
Huh?
What's your fan fiction
It
name?
is Rizzle's. I think it's Rizzle's Lover 72.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
I think. Yeah, it's the same thing as on Twitter. I think I
Oh,
spell it differently on
okay.
AO3.
All right. And I was
Well,
bummed that Lifetime's been showing Rizzoli and Isles marathons on Tuesday, and tomorrow they're not having it because they're showing like Christmas movies. And I was like, oh, I
I
like coming
stopped
home from work and watching Rizzoli and Isles.
I stopped watching Rizzoli and Isles after season 3, I want to say. The beards
Yeah,
get a little on my nerves.
I know.
And I was just like, I can't do this.
I know. They're
So
just
I
being,
don't know. I don't know what happened after that.
I don't really know how it ended. I just watched them random. Like I didn't tune in every week to follow it per se, but it's fun. And
Yeah.
that's how they
I don't
get
know
things
how it
done.
ended either. I have no idea. I mean, I've heard rumors, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's funny, they'll get DNA results like in 30 minutes and
Mm,
it's funny. It's, what else are you gonna do? There's nothing else on.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah. There really is nothing else
There's
on.
nothing else on.
I mean, I've probably watched everything I want to watch on Netflix, Hulu, um, Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
So I think I had to finish watching The Boys.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. It seemed kind of dark and I wasn't in the mood
It's
yet.
very dark.
Okay.
You have to be in the mood to watch it. And it's not one of those shows you can binge because it's so dark and violent. I mean, it's like, you'll watch a couple of episodes and come back and,
Mhm.
watch maybe a couple more episodes, whatnot. But it's really dark. I like the superhero thing as well.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to the new is it Batgirl or Batwoman? Batwoman. Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I'm looking
I,
forward to that.
I did watch that. Yeah.
So it got better.
It did.
It
I,
was kind of
I
at the
like Alice.
beginning.
I mean, Alice is a great villain. Uh,
I liked her. People
yeah,
were complaining about her. I really liked her.
I liked it. So yeah, we'll see what they do with it. I mean, I'll tune in. I'll try to figure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't come back until January, so it's a long wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn
Well,
COVID, I swear.
it'll give me time to get. I want to get Star Trek Discovery and stuff, but I don't have CBS streaming. Blah blah. So I got to go pick a time to get that and binge it. And
Yes, yes,
Mandalorian, I haven't
yes.
seen those yet because I don't have Disney. All the streaming stuff is exhausting.
I know, right?
But
It's a good thing they don't cost a lot of money, but by the time you get every streaming service, you're almost paying the amount that you do for cable.
yeah, I only have Netflix and Amazon, and I had HBO because I love Westworld, and then Gentleman Jack was on. Um, but then I ditched that one now because they're done for a while, so I'll just pick up
But
the.
yeah, I haven't heard anything about Gentleman Jack at all.
They plan to film it. I don't know if they ever started it before this
Oh,
happened.
I don't know. I
There'll
don't
be a
know.
season 2.
Well, I'm loving that I get to interview all these people who are into fanfic. I mean, you're like the third person.
Yeah.
Because usually it's just like, what's fanfic? I'm just like, oh my God.
No. Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. I got sucked in, um, and it's fun.
Oh,
I peruse it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm really tempted now to try to write a one shot, but I wouldn't know what fandom to write it. I think it would probably be Rizzoli and Isles because that was the last one I left. So I think a lot of people would be shocked
There you go.
if I did.
Maybe
But
you'll
I'm
watch something and be inspired to just jump into something new.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It never know. We'll see. We'll see. So okay. So what up? Do you self publish or are you with a publisher?
I self-publish.
Oh, brave.
Well, I'm impatient, and I when I started, I was like, well, I'll send to a few places and see, and then like reading up how many weeks or months or whatever till they get.
6 weeks, six
Yeah,
to 8 weeks to
I
get
went
back to
6 weeks,
you.
and then I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Yeah, and then another 6 months for edits
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So yeah,
and
it takes a while.
yeah, and like you, I mean, I work a lot. The writing's not my main thing, so deadlines and stuff seem daunting. I didn't want it to be another job for me.
Yeah.
I had to worry about that, but definitely, I wish the first book was a little cleaner. I learned a lot.
Hmm.
Different friends that have writing experience and editing help me out. I have a wonderful friend, Cindy, that does my covers most of the time. Um,
Oh,
so you know, I had a good system that helps me, and we've definitely evolved it and tightened it up, and I've gotten more some beta readers and stuff to help
okay.
even more. You know, so I'm always evolving and trying to make it as top notch as I can. And of course,
I
for me
mean,
to
but I don't care how many people comb through a manuscript,
oh,
there's always going to be mistakes.
yeah,
There's just no way it's going to be a totally clean copy. I don't
I know.
care if you have a professional proofreader,
Mhm.
whatever. It's always going to be mistakes. It's always. I mean, even if it's just one or two, as opposed to, I think I read something that on average, a book has about 10 or more mistakes in it.
Mhm.
A clean copy would.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, when I don't mess with punctuation and commas and all that crap. I just kind of like, okay, here I wrote it. You do whatever, type it, put whatever is supposed to be in there, and or whatever. So it's just like I do enjoy the fact that um, as somebody that's with the publishing company, that I get a break in
Mhm.
between when I turn in the manuscript and when it starts edits.
Mhm.
I get a break in between, so it comes back to me and it's like reading it fresh again.
Right.
Because I think if I had to read it back to back to back to back,
Mhm.
I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes you're
it,
just like sick of that story.
yes, and you
Yeah.
get to the point where you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You don't see the mistakes. You
Mhm.
don't see any inconsistencies if you're reading it. Because you get to the point where you just kind of like, okay, that happens on this page,
Yeah.
and you're scrolling through,
Once
so
I send it off to someone to read, I don't read it until they send it back to me. I try not to do that unless I something blatantly pops into my head like, oh, I totally need to add that. But I don't look at it. But I do also print it. You know, reading it in paper, you pick up a lot of things that you miss.
really,
Uh,
I've heard that, but I was like, that's a lot of freaking paper.
yeah. Well, I try to only do it once or twice. You know, I don't do it like every time, but I'll do
Oh,
it again before I decide to print it. You know, after everybody's gone through it, I'll print it again and go through it and make sure, and grammar, everything you look on grammar, you get some people that bust you on a review said, oh, they need to work on editing this, and this. But then you look up Chicago style and they're like, oh, well, just pick one and be consistent about it. And then you read something else and it's like, but that's their style. They like to emphasize this. And they're like, so there's not really a lot of rules. As long as you pick one and go with it. And then some
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like, not like,
yeah. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I think all the publishing companies, they do the same style. I mean, they're all the same. They have the same format, the same, whatever.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's consistency throughout. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so, yeah, but yeah. So I'm hoping, are you going to do, well, since you finished your first draft, are you not going to participate in Nano at all?
I started this one nano last year thinking it'll get me going, and I got about 20,000 words out of it, and
Uh-huh.
it's taking me this long to figure out the rest of it. But I have 3 or 4 other story ideas, and one that's got 5 or 6,000 words to it. So
Hmm.
I may, I'll probably try to get that one going in nano. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
do
I'm hoping,
it.
I'm gonna try to get back to writing this week, whether it's writing that one shot or whatever. Now, if I do it once, that may help me get the tank started again. I was doing sensitivity reads the past couple of weeks. So, and I don't, when I'm doing those, I don't do my own writing because I'm afraid of the blend or, whatever.
So,
So I was like, okay. And then I've been busy with work too. So I'm just like, oh my God, I don't have time to do anything.
I
So I'm
know.
hoping to get back to it this week. And, I already have the ideas going about where, what I'm going to do and what's the next section and how to end the next chapter and, and so on and so forth. So I was like, I got my middle. I got
There
my
you go.
middle. So
There you go.
yeah,
Well,
so that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
yeah,
So, okay, tell us a
yeah.
story. Anything interesting? about whatever
Um,
you want.
well, interesting. Um, well, I don't know. Since we're doing hot sauce,
Uh-huh.
um, once, once upon a time, I used to sell cars, and they like to torture all the new folks. Um,
Uh,
Fortunately, it didn't bother me too much because I was one of the only women doing it, and they didn't want to be the person that was bothering to go with the one person that works there. But there was a gentleman who loved hot sauce like you, and he loved all those high grade sauces.
uh-huh.
And so sometimes they slip it on their burger before they get in, or watch the guy like gasp and sweat and all that. But somebody kept getting into his mini fridge, and so he put a little bit of that hot sauce along the top of the mini fridge. We did it. But he didn't tell me that when he asked me to go get this other thing, and it wasn't on. There wasn't much on there left anymore, but it was on my hand, and so I went and I washed my hands. It was fine. About 10 minutes later, or whatever, I had to rub my eye, and that stuff was like an oil base, whatever, that it was still on my hand, and it was in my eye, and like they had to like hold my eye open and flush it out. It was so bad. How do you eat that? How do you put that
It
in your
it does. Yes. It's like it doesn't matter if you wash your hands, it stays on
Oh
there. It
God, it
stays
was
on there.
terrible.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
It's like they tell you lemon juice or something like that
really?
can get it completely off. Yeah, but it stays on there. Just like if you were cutting hot peppers and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, let me wash my hands afterwards. Man, it doesn't matter. It's all over your hands. If you don't wear gloves, it's all over your hands.
I think, but I learned a lesson that day.
Yeah,
You know,
I've done it before too. I'm just like, oh my God, I got something in my eye. Like, oh no, I really got something in my eye.
I got burned bad. That's
Oh,
terrible. But yeah, I don't know if that was the kind of story you wanted. I've done
a
that before.
story is a story.
Story though for you.
Story is a
You got
story. I
it.
said, tell me anything. So, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is
So,
fun.
when are you like you finished the first draft? When are you thinking about publishing the new book?
I don't know. I sure would like to get it out before Christmas if things will work right. Uh, I've got to get the cover going, and as soon as I get this sent off, see how long it takes them to get it back and what all really needs to be changed, and we'll go from there. But I'd like to get it out before Christmas for folks. For sure.
Okay. I tell you what, I don't think I have December filled up yet. And if I do, I would love to squeeze you in, just give you a little marketing for around that time.
I
That's
appreciate
cool.
that. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, any little bit helps. Yeah,
Yeah,
The-
everybody.
I'm with that. Yeah, I know the all the stuff we have to do to get our stuff out there. So
And yeah, and self-published, word of mouth is a big deal, and just getting it out
yes,
there.
it is.
I
Yes, it is. I know.
appreciate that.
I know. No, not a problem. So
It's
thank you
something
for.
new that I tried this year. I'm always trying to do something new in my life. So here we go, hot sauce.
Don't forget you.
Bucket list.
Thank you for joining me. It's been fun.
Yes, it has. It's been fun. Thank you.
Okay, okay. So everybody, we are done with another episode of Girl on Fire. I'll see you again soon. I do not remember who's going to be on the next show, but rest assured there's somebody else that's going to be on there. So everybody have a good week. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.